Hi, good morning and welcome in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene and I am with A Room to Bloom, and this is your Oracle Reading Podcast. So this is actually really interesting. I have a deck that I made and it is called the Snowball Oracle. I decided to use it today even though it didn't snow. I just don't use it that often. But there's a couple of things that are happening. I was shuffling the deck in preparation and a card jumped out. And it's so interesting how this unfolds. So I'm going to read the card and then I'll tell you what's been going on. So this card is called the Warming House. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little. Okay, so it's called the Warming House. And it says sometimes we simply have to get out of the cold for a while and take the chill off. Have you been being chilly to someone? If so, how long would you need to stay out? If so, how long would you need to stay so you can get to your warm-hearted self? So this card is about self-reflection. Have you been being cold, icy, chilly to someone? Think of the words, the cold shoulder. So what is really interesting about this is literally last night I was watching a video about when your cats are cold. And I kind of had been noticing these signs at certain times. And I'm like, I can tell they're cold because of the way that they're curled up. And so, I mean, I've always made a conscious effort to keep it warm if it cools down for them. But it takes a few minutes, to get the heat going and turned up. But this morning, so that happened. And then so this morning I could tell that they were kind of doing some of that behavior, and the temperature had lowered. And so I actually have the heat running right now, but it was funny because they came over to me and I could feel their their paws were kind of chilly, right? And I don't always feel that. It just happened to be today was one of those days. And then they're also playing with a toy with this thing that they hit this ball and it goes around and around. So we've got like the Snowball Oracle, which is round. And so as they're playing with that toy, it's about a situation that something has gone on for a long time, like around and around. About a situation. Have you been giving someone the cold shoulder? I am going to mention this. The time right now is 7:17 a.m. That might mean something for you. It is interesting because I have had this number pop up on my computer because I have things go on with electronics, and it would show the date as that particular date many, many, many times on my computer. But then it would jump. The date would jump and it would change. And so it is interesting. As I record this, it happens to be Friday, February 13th at 7:17 a.m. So if that means something for you. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to shuffle these and take a couple more and see what else comes up. I don't usually have cards out in advance. It's just that when I was shuffling, it jumped out. Okay, here's 3 more jumped out. I'm going to take them. They all fell down, but they were face down. Okay, the first one is rosy cheeks. So that's kind of interesting with Valentine's approaching is what's coming to me. It says, when we face the wind of the winter, our cheeks can become very rosy. But what if you are indoors thinking about someone or are with someone who makes our cheeks rosy? Love may indeed be in the air. So are you, I have goosebumps. Are you feeling something somewhere? Are your cheeks getting rosy? Are you noticing yourself blushing in certain situations? Okay, the next one that we have here is the puffer jacket. Although light in weight, don't let it fool you. The lightness of the puffer is like a shield of protection, which keeps you safe from attacks that feel bitter, cold, and that are often done in the dark. Where, wear your puffer, call in your light of protection, right? So it's interesting. We can have like these analogies, ways to remember that there is a lot going on in the world of spirit, and that is happening all the time around us. Before it's just happening. It just is. And so this idea of protecting ourselves every day. And so it's just another analogy to remember when you're getting dressed each day, right? Thinking about putting on that spiritual protection as well, keeping you safe from attacks that feel bitter, cold, and that are often done in the dark. Again, call in your light of protection. You can do that before you leave your home. You can do that each morning you wake up. You can do that when you're out and about. You can do it multiple times a day. Okay, the next card that we have is icicles. Icicles are formed by dripping water that freezes as it drips. This is a process of many cycles in order for the large icicles to form. These icicles are both strong and beautiful, even though they are cold. It takes time and experience to build up the coldness. Who or what helps you melt bitterness away? I think that it's so apropos for the fact that we are coming into Valentine's Day. The idea of, wherever you are on your journey, whether you're, new to love, romance, whether you've, had love and lost it before, right? But it's interesting, love is like that. It takes time to even have a greater appreciation of it. For people who have ever been, say, in a relationship that they thought the grass was greener somewhere else, so they wrapped up that relationship and went on to, again, what someone might consider the greener grass. And in so doing, realized that the relationship that they had before was truly solid, right? Like this icicle that took time to build up through a process, right? But sometimes we don't know that unless we've had enough experiences to really appreciate what we had. But these are the lessons that we are given in life, right? These are the lessons to be grateful and thankful for those who are in our life, for the gifts in our life, for all that we have, all that we receive, all that we give. And this is this reminder to keep our heart open, right? And yet at the same time, using discernment and not having people take advantage of your kind heart, your good heart, your loving and caring heart. In fact, I just had a prayer card fall. My cats knocked it down, and I'm sorry, I don't have it right in front of me, but it was about protect your heart, for all you do flows from it. And it is a prayer. I don't know what it is, and I may not be reading it exactly right, but again, just that reminder. I'm going to go ahead and take one more of these. I like to take 5 of them, so let's see what else we have. Okay, sticky situation. If you live in a climate where you experience winter, then you will probably remember either being tricked to put your tongue on an icy pole or witness someone else who was tricked. Has your tongue been put into a sticky situation that you are struggling to free yourself from? Tell the truth. That's the message. Tell the truth. A sticky situation. So again, just in a very quick review, we have the warming house. Sometimes you got to get out of the cold. Have you been chilly to someone? Is there a situation where somebody is causing you to have rosy cheeks? Put on your puffer jacket of protection. Um, who helps you melt your icicles, right? If you will, if life has been hard to you and you've got built up this shield of bitterness, right? Who helps you melt your um, those hard icicles away? And being encouraged to tell the truth if your tongue, if you will, has gotten you in a sticky situation. On the bottom of the deck, we have the gift of snow. Now, this would be something that would be in the subconscious mind. It says, when the nights are extra dark and when the morning stays hidden for a while longer, when the sun rests early each day, the snow is a gift that lights our way, often forcing us to slow down and be present, right? So if you have ever been in the winter climates in the like the fall season, or you live in a climate where it snows, the season right before the snow can feel extra dark, but then all of a sudden it, especially if you're driving in the evening or something, but then it will snow and it actually lightens up our way, right? So it truly is a beautiful gift, right? There's so many gifts in snow, but that reminder of that, um, and when we are driving and it's snowing, it's also that reminder of slowing down, not only our driving, but slowing down in our life to appreciate what's going on in the present moment. Like if you were driving in the snow, to appreciate all that's there in that moment, whether it's a great song on the radio, whether it's the heat coming from your vehicle, whether it's someone in the car and the conversation that you're having, and just really being present in that moment. Okay, so we're going to go to, let's see. I have not used this deck in a really long time. It's called the Celestial Tarot deck. Let's see what wants to come out here. So this is going to be a message for Under the Warming House. Please bring forth messages that are helpful for the collective here. Okay, so one jumped out. Actually, it's two, but the one on top of it, it is the Four of Wands. Now, wands are about action. They are fire energy, or the element of fire. The Four of Wands is about a happy home life, right? So, have you been giving someone, let's see, who have you been giving someone the cold shoulder to? Someone in your home is what this is coming to show me. That's what this is showing me. And then the next card here is the King of Wands. And so, by the way, that cold shoulder situation, this Four of Wands is also representative of a twin flame relationship. So it's like that this person makes you happy, but for some reason you've been giving them the cold shoulder. Okay, under rosy cheeks, we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is an action taker, someone who is very passionate. And so you may have a King of Wands in your life, or someone who embodies the King of Wands energy. So we all embody the masculine and the feminine energy. So, someone who's just kind of taking control of their life, and who is very creative. Okay, the next one we have is the Ace of Pentacles, and this falls under the puffer jacket. And the pentacles represent things of our earthly experience, like material items. So with the puffer jacket, we have a hand here that's holding out a pentacle. Like this is a new beginning with finances, okay? And so again, the puffer jacket says, put on your shield of protection. So that could be around your finances, right? Put on your shield of protection around your finances. You have a new beginning in finances here. Okay, and I'm getting confirmation with that. The next one, under the icicles, again, who or what helps melt your bitterness away. So what we have here is the card is the Magician card. And the Magician card says, I can manifest that which I desire. So, you know, it's about taking a look at where you are in your life. And if there is a situation that you have been carrying bitterness with, there, you know, you could even have someone who has been working with magic, who has been bitter. But if you are someone who does that type of thing, you're being called to just let that go, right? And to say who or what melts that bitterness away, and to lean into that, right? Bitterness or envy or jealousy, that type of thing. Okay, what's going on here with this sticky situation? Okay, we have a Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups is someone who's very loving, nurturing, kind. The cups are about our emotions, right? It's showing in the blockage position. So someone, a Queen of Cups energy, may have said something that's putting them in a sticky situation that they need to tell the truth about. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Tell us more about why this Four of Wands is here under the warming house. We have a Knight of Swords. Okay, so someone who would be, possibly you could be in a relationship. A Knight energy is someone who kind of comes rushing in, and the Sword, it's a very fast moving energy. The Sword is about somebody being in their thoughts, having sharp words, right? So is there someone that you've had sharp words with, or who has said sharp words that you have been chilly to, right? So this is what we are being called to consider. So you can get back to your warm-hearted self, right? Not having, being chilly to someone. Okay, what's the next one? Under the King of Wands, with the rosy cheeks, we have a King of Pentacles energy. So that, again, this can be either masculine or feminine energy, but yet it is still an energy. The King of Pentacles is someone who embodies a situation where they are set in their finances. They don't have any concern about that. So we have a King of Wands energy, so that could be somebody who embodies that, who is very creative and such. Or a King of Pentacles is causing what would be considered someone in their King of Wands energy, causing them rosy cheeks. Okay, under the puffer jacket and the shield of protection with the Ace of Pentacles, what do we have? We have the Five of Cups. Okay, the Five of Cups is a situation where someone's crying over spilt milk. Something has already happened, okay? And it's like, again, here's the puffer jacket with the new beginning in money. Something has already happened, and putting on this puffer jacket as your shield of protection. So basically, think about, why do people start building walls up? Because they had certain experiences, right? And so they build up their walls. They can build up and harden their heart, if you will. All different types of things happen. But this is where, where we are being, where we are being called to take a look at what has happened in regards to finances, where we still need to be aware and to protect ourselves, right? Protect ourselves. Okay. Sorry, I have a kitty who wants to jump up here on the cards, and that might happen. It looks like it's going to. Come on. No, no. Anyway, okay, under the icicles and the magician card. So again, um, who helps melt your bitterness away with this magician card? What we have is some type of a celebration here. We have the Three of Cups. So there may be some type of a celebration um, where you meet someone who does help you start to melt away um, that process of where like these icicles, if you will, have been built up, right? The where where it's just maybe been hard to trust or to love again or to forgive, which is really interesting because yesterday I had a book open to forgiveness and I closed it, and today I opened it to the same thing, speaking about forgiveness, right? Same page, and I didn't have it marked. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take one more here under the sticky situation and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so what we have is the Five of Swords, and this speaks about jealousy, right? So it makes sense. Like this shows a blockage position. So there's a Queen of Cups who, which is, this would be really not like the character of a Queen of Cups. But it looks like a situation where there has been jealousy, where somebody has spoken something out that basically they've done something, right, that has gotten them in trouble, if you will, with their tongue. They got themselves into a sticky situation, and now it is time for them to tell the truth. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So again, when we had the gift of snow, we have when the nights are extra dark and the morning stays hidden for a while longer and the sun rests early each day. The snow is that gift that lights our way. So this Knight of Pentacles is someone who is coming in, and they move slowly on their horse, but they're holding a pentacle, something that is of the earthly realm, right? They move a little slower, but they have something to offer. And it's interesting because the snow is that gift that lights our way, often forcing us to slow down and be present. And this night energy would embody that. And I have goosebumps. Okay, I'm going to take one more. Right in a row, we have the Knight of Cups. So again, these are just on the bottom of the deck, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So somebody coming in with an offer of something from the earthly realm, and yet they are sincere because they have their emotion into this as well. This person may be poetic, could like write, could be a creative, because we have the cups here, right? So they're in their heart space. I am being guided to just split this deck, and I want to see what happens. Yeah, this is after a period of the Ten of Swords, which is like a situation where somebody was kind of felt stabbed in the back, right? So that's what I have here. Okay, now we're going to go on to, here, I'm just going to put this here. Now we're going to go on to another deck. I'm going to just have a sip of coffee. I really want to use this deck called, well, I'm going to go one more, and then I'm going to use a different deck called Guidance from Your Angels. But this particular deck is called Mind Info Oracle Cards. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so for the first one, under the Warming House, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Swords, what would you like to tell us about this? We have expand, and what we have is, it would be like almost like a box, an empty box, but four arrows pointing to the outer corners of the box. And it says, you are being asked to expand. You live in a huge world with endless possibilities, and staying safe is no longer working for you. It is time to make your world just a little bit bigger. It's time to imagine the possibilities and to go for them, right? How many times in our life have we done that, right? Where we have simply played it safe because we don't know what's what's out there. We don't know. And we turn what could be a beautiful wonder into a worry instead. But we are being called to expand. And also, I'm already being guided to add, have faith and trust in the universe. Have faith and trust that things will work out for you. Keep your thoughts positive. Okay, so this is really interesting. Okay, so under the rosy cheeks, and then where we have the Knight of Wands and the King of Pentacles, the card is future love, finding new love. So it's like new love coming into your life, causing you rosy cheeks. And so, oh, this is actually a way to do a reading. Oh, golly. Okay. So these are the questions. I'm just going to read the questions. I've never seen this card. And so what it is it's basically a layout for cards, and each card's in a certain place, and each card has a question. And the first one is, how will you meet? The second one is, when in time will you meet? The third one is, something blocking your union? What do you need to work on to be ready for this relationship? What are they like? Characteristics of your relationship, and then the future potential. So yeah, so there's something coming up where it's like you have finding new love may cause you rosy cheeks. Okay, what else do we have under the puffer jacket, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups? We have a resolution. So this could be about the finances. Whatever it is that you have been struggling with is about to be resolved. Remember that, and by the way, that was also crying over spilt milk. So remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want, but being able to move forward and start fresh always brings relief, right? That sounds so perfect for the way that these cards light up. Like where, or light up. Well, they light up and they line up. However you want to look at it, right? So having a resolution where you still feel protected, you're taking care of your money, you got to let go of whatever has already happened. Again, if you were struggling in that situation, it is about to be resolved. Okay, the next one under icicles, and the Magician, and the group here, celebration of some sort. We have reassess. Because that's what this icicle says. Again, it takes time and experience to build up coldness. What helps you melt bitterness away? So this is about a reassessment of a situation. And it could have to do with a group, right? You're being asked to take stock of your life and to let go of anything or anyone that no longer makes you happy. Notice who and what bring you joy and who and what doesn't. It is time for some life cleanup. I had this vision one time about, I have a horn honking too. Train, I mean. But anyway, the vision was about, like, you know how if you spill something, say you're in the kitchen and you know, just say something falls over and you've got to get the broom and you have to sweep it up, right? Well, sometimes our life is like that, but we don't really realize that there's kind of a mess that we've been moving around in or around. Or maybe we realize it, but we've been tiptoeing over it. We haven't taken the time to get the broom out to really clean it up, right? And so I was speaking with somebody about it, this vision and whatever I was given, and it was the idea of carry your own broom. Because sometimes life does get, you know, messier. We have messes in our life that basically need to get cleaned up. So, you know, we can start this out as something extremely simple. Think about emails that you're getting that are just these random emails, and they're like, you know, they're just kind of junk emails, but they keep coming, they keep coming, they keep coming, and you don't deal with them. So this is like saying, clean that up. That's just something really little. You're being asked to take stock of your life and to let go of anything or anyone that no longer makes you happy. So this talks about getting honest with ourselves, right? It is interesting that it falls under this group of people that are celebrating. They're all holding cups, so they could be drinking, right? Maybe that isn't working for you anymore to be around that. And you're realizing that what used to bring you joy is no longer resonating with you anymore. And maybe you've stepped back in time, but then you go back. And each time you go back to a group or this type of situation, each time it's not resonating with you anymore. And eventually, it's not like you announce these words that you're cutting ties or whatever, but you just stop going. You pull your energy away from that kind of situation, and you redirect your energy to that which brings you joy, or to that which aligns with your soul. You pivot your energy and you expand it into something else. Maybe that's going to school. Maybe that's building something. Maybe that's painting. Maybe it's a new relationship or a new group of people, right? Everything does not have to be a group by any means, right? And that might even be part of it. That maybe when you used to be like a person who's around, like did a lot of things in groups, maybe you're starting to be a person who now appreciates just going to spend time with one person at a time and having really deep, enriching, authentic conversations that have sustenance, right? Okay, let's go ahead and shuffle here. We've got the sticky situation, the Queen of Cups, and the betrayal card with the Five of Swords. Okay, interesting. We have ask for help. So if somebody has said something that got them into a sticky situation, and there's been some betrayal here, they're being encouraged to ask for help. You're being asked to request help from another. You don't need to deal with this issue alone. There are many people who want to help you, but it is up to you to bravely ask for their support. It is a sign of strength to reach out. Do that today. Okay. I have goosebumps. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have miracles. So remember, we had the gift of snow, the Knight of Pentacles, someone coming in with an offer of something of a material realm coming from their heart space. We have a miracle. And so what we have basically, it's like stars in the air. It says, you're being asked to pay extra close attention to all of the big and the small miracles that have already occurred in your life life, and also to those that are currently occurring and are still to come. Miracles surround you. Be on the lookout for them. That is such a beautiful card with this idea of moving on to something new, right? Are you living in worry or are you living in wonder? And so that is like wonder is the idea of appreciation and seeing and looking for those miracles, whether they are big or small, right? Okay, I'm going to split this deck as well. We have the word celebrate. You are being asked to celebrate a recent accomplishment, no matter how big or small. Do something special to commemorate the moment. You deserve that and so much more. What is it time to celebrate? Okay, I'm going to see what time it is. All right, we are at 34 minutes. I'm going to take an angel card. Let's see what's going on here with this. Acceptance. Okay, so what we have is three angels that are standing on the ground. There are some elves there. And then we have an angel in the air with 5 cupids around her. And it says, see yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and you lift everyone to their highest potential. I want to grab something. I have it right here. And it's such a lovely message. And what it says, it's a calendar. It's a day calendar that flips and it has messages. I'm going to share the date. It's February 27th. So this might mean something for you. It says, be somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. And it's funny, when I read this, it made me think about these exact words again. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. So be somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. In this way, you inspire and you lift everyone to their highest potential. I think that's such a lovely message and a perfect way to end this. I want to say thank you for joining me. I hope that you have an amazing day.